Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Splatoon! Last time, we showed off Rainmaker, and this time, we're going to be taking a look at the Amiibo challenges. Now, the Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, and Inkling Squid Amiibo are being shown off in this video. The Callie and Marie Amiibo will be shown off in the next episode, which should be the finale, because I think I have covered everything pretty much in the footage I've recorded, so we'll cover Callie and Marie's Amiibo next time, but this is about the Amiibo challenges in which you can basically take on Octo Valley, the single-player campaign, yet again, but this time you can earn cash as well as equipment, new games for the arcade machines, and even new weapons. So this is what we're going to be doing. How this is going to work is I'm only showing off the major prize battles, which are the boss battles. So you will be seeing 3 different fights 5 times over of... wait, yes? Anyway, you'll be seeing 5 different boss fights 3 times over. There we go, that's how you word it. You'll be seeing the Mighty Octo Stomp, you'll be seeing the dreaded Octo Nozzle, the Rampaging Octo Whirl, the Ravenous Octo Maul, and of course, enter the Octobot King. You'll be seeing those 3 times each for each of the Amiibo. So, first off was the Inkling Boy Amiibo challenges, where you use a roller on plenty of stages. I believe it's 18? No, it's not 18. Is it 20? I think it's 20 stages in total. Basically, how these are going to work is I'm going to list off all of the stages that are not going to be shown off in this video, and also, obviously, list off the major prizes for facing the bosses. So, for the Inkling Boy Amiibo challenges from World 1, the stages that were shown off were Octo Trooper Hideout, Lair of the Octoballs, and Rise of the Octocopters. Now, these other levels besides the boss battles, you each get cash prizes for each of them. For example, Octo Trooper Hideout landed you 600 in cash, Lair of the Octoballs landed you 700 in cash, and Rise of the Octocopters let you in 800 cash. So, once you clear those 3 stages from World 1, you can face the Mighty Octo Stomp, and for facing him and beating him using the roller in the Inkling Boy Amiibo challenges, you get yourself a piece of headgear known as the Samurai Helmet. And these are part of a special Amiibo brand of clothing, which you can only get via these Amiibo challenges. So you cannot buy them through Booyah Base. You have to play these Amiibo challenges in order to unlock them. I think they're 2 stars in rarity, according to the Splatoon wiki that I was on while compiling all this information. So, yeah. But anyway, on to World 2, Gusher Gauntlet for 900 cash, Octowing Invasion for 1,000 in cash, Unidentified Flying Object for 1,100 in cash, and after facing the dreaded Octo Nozzle, you get the Samurai Jacket, again, 2 stars in rarity, part of the Amiibo brand. In World 3, for 1,200 in cash, you can take on the Inkrail Skyscape. For 1,300 in cash, you take on Ink-Visible Avenues. I did this during the Octo Valley playthrough as well. For 1,400 in cash, you take on Flutter Junkyard. And then you can take on the Rampaging Octo Whirl and get yourself the Samurai Shoes, completing yourself the outfit for the Samurai of the Inkling Boy Amiibo challenges. In World 4, for 1,500 in cash, you can take on Spinning Spreaders. For 1,600 in cash, you can take on Tumbling Splatforms. And for 1,700 in cash, you can take on Unwelcome Flying Object. And then you can take on the Ravenous Octo Maul to get yourself a new arcade game known as Squid Racer. I'll be going over, well, I shouldn't say going over each of these individual arcade games in further detail. I'll explain that in the next episode. I'm just going over things that you get through the Amiibo challenges. So, all the arcade games will be explained later, sort of. Anyway, so you take on the Ravenous Octomall, you get Squid Racer for the arcade. Yeah, I'll go over that in more detail later. Sorry to be ominous with that, but, you know, it is what it is. Trying to get through these as quick as possible. World 5, you can take on Splat Switch Revolution for 1,800 in cash. For 1,900 in cash, you can take on the Pinwheel Power Plant. And for 2,000 in cash, you can take on Octoling Onslaught. And of course, the final one, Enter the Octobot King. For completing this mission, you will get a new weapon, which is known as the Hero Roller Replica. All the stages you've done previously were done with a Hero Roller, which is basically equivalent to the Hero Shot, which we used all throughout Octo Valley. And you get the replica version of that as a weapon as soon as you complete these challenges. And of course, you can re-challenge all of these, you can re-challenge any of these stages anytime. However, you only get 100 in cash for all of them, which is kind of pointless, and I wish they didn't do that. Like, you could have done the first stage, have 100 in cash for completing it again, but you could have at least jumped it by at least 50 cash for the other stages after that. I mean, come on! Anyways, now on to the Inkling Girl Amiibo challenges, which were done with a charger. Now, obviously, some of these stages are a little bit different compared to the Inkling Boy, and of course, the prizes are different as well. So, in World 1, for 600 in cash, you can take on Octotrooper Hideout. For 700 in cash, you can take on Lair of the Octoballs. And for 800 in cash, you take on Rise of the Octocopters. Basically, all three of these in World 1, you do basically all of the first world over again. And of course, after facing the mighty Octo Stomp, you get a new piece of headgear known as the Squid Hair Clip. Basically, samurai stuff is for boy Inklings if you want, and they give you hair clips and other girly items for these Inkling Girl Amiibo challenges, so yeah. But you get the Squid Hair Clip. Again, 2 stars in rarity according to the wiki that I got the information from. Anyways, in World 2, for 900 in cash, you can take on Floating Sponge Garden, new level. For 1,000 in cash, you can take on Propeller Lift Playground. And for 1,100 in cash, you can take on Spreader Splatfest. And of course, after that, you unlock the boss battle, the dreaded Octo Nozzle, and you get the clothing item known as the School Uniform. Alright, and in World 3, you can take on Spinning Splatforms for 1,200 in cash. For 1,300 in cash, you can take on Octoling Assault. For 1,400 in cash, you can take on Undeniable Flying Object. And of course, you unlock the Rampaging Octowhirl after that, and the final clothing item that you get are known as the School Shoes. So, in World 4, you take on Propeller Lift Fortress for 1,500 in cash, then Octo Sniper Ramparts for 1,600 in cash, and then Octoling Uprising for 1,700 in cash. And after that, you unlock the boss, the Ravenous Octomall, and the arcade game that you get from that is known as Squid Ball, which is basically like volleyball. Alright, and in World 5, for 1,800 in cash, you take on Spongy Observatory. For 1,900 in cash, you take on Far Flung Flutters. And for 2,000 in cash, you take on Unavoidable Flying Object. Unavoidable, I almost said. You know, it's always weird. Every time I say I almost said something, I end up saying it anyway. I think I mention this every single time I mess up something. Anyway. And then, of course, the last stage that you can take on, Enter the Octobot King. And once you complete that, you get the Hero Charger replica. Again, just like the Hero Roller replica. Basically the Charger version. I wish they would have included the Roller and Charger in Octo Valley, maybe in Splatoon 2 or the HD port for the Switch? Who knows? Which, by the way, I'll mention that. I'll go over that in the next episode. But now, this is where things get changed up a little bit. Because with the Inkling Squid Amiibo challenges, there are two different types of challenges that you can encounter, and I made sure to actually show off at least one of the other one. So, most of these stages, you'll be doing it as a Kraken, instead of a normal, well, instead of being a Squid when you press ZL, you'll be a Kraken, just like the special for some weapons. And these Kraken stages are also timed. Usually it's about 3 minutes, so that's a general idea. One stage is 1 minute 30 seconds. I think it's the Octoling Uprising one that I'll get to later on. And also, you only see it 4 times, because the boss battles, thank God, don't include this. The other type of challenge in the Squid Amiibo challenges are about having limited ink. And trust me, when I first did this on my personal file before recording these on this Let's Play file, I sat in the limited ink stages for quite some time. But anyway, let's actually read off these challenges. So in World 1, again, Octotrooper Hideout, you use the Kraken and it's for 600 cash. Lair of the Octoballs, it's Kraken timed, and you get 700 cash. Then Rise of the Octocopters, again, Kraken timed, with which is worth 800 in cash. And then, of course, the boss battles, always using Kraken. First up, the Mighty Octostomp. For completing this, you get a piece of headgear known as the Power Mask. I'll try to put up on screen the full outfits put together for each of these different items, for each of these challenges. But anyway, so in World 2, you take on Gusher Gauntlet, which is limited ink, and you get 900 cash. Then, Floating Sponge Garden for 1,000 in cash, which is also limited ink. Then, for Kraken timed, Spreader Splatfest for 1,100 in cash. And of course, the boss battle, the dreaded Octonozzle. For that, you get the Power Armor. In World 3, for limited ink, which is the one I actually do show off, I don't know if it's been on screen at all or has passed. Maybe it has, I don't know. I think we're on the Inkling Girl challenges footage-wise, but anyway, with limited ink and 1,200 cash for completing it, you take on Ink Visible Avenues. Then, Kraken timed for 1,300 in cash, you take on the Flutter Junkyard. And once again, Kraken timed for 1,400 in cash, you can take on Shifting Splatforms. And of course, the boss, the Rampaging Octowhirl. For completing this, you get the final piece of power equipment, known as the Power Boots. Alright, and in World 4, you take on the Spinning Spreader stage, Kraken timed for 1,500 in cash. Then it's Tumbling Splatforms, again, Kraken timed, for 1,600 in cash. Then it's Octoling Uprising, Kraken timed. I believe this is the one that is 1 minute for the timing, for 1,700 in cash. Then you take on the boss, the Ravenous Octomaw, and for completing that, you get the new arcade game, the final arcade game, known as Squid Beats. Alright, and in World 5, you take on Spongy Observatory, which has limited ink, for 1,800 in cash. Then it's Pinwheel Power Plant, Kraken timed, for 1,900 in cash. And then you take on Far-Flung Flutters, which is Kraken timed, 2,000 in cash for completing it. And of course, the final new weapon that you get for completing Enter the Octobot King when it comes to the Inkling Squid Amiibo challenges is actually a replica of the hero shot from the single-player campaign, which is really, really cool, and I gladly appreciate that they included that for the end of this. So, that pretty much does everything for these Amiibo challenges. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the alternate colored Amiibo 3-pack for the Inkling Boy, Girl, and Squid are also compatible with Splatoon, and basically, when you scan those in, it's the same challenges, but the actual Amiibo itself is reskinned just like the Amiibo were, which is a pretty neat detail, and I'll be sure to include a little slideshow in a little bit showing off what they look like in the Amiibo packaging in the game, because unfortunately I don't have those Amiibo. I don't have the recolored 3-pack of the Amiibo yet. I'm working on it because I know, I need to feed my Amiibo collection and all, even when it's just recolors. But unfortunately, I don't have them at the time of recording this video, so I can't show those off. But yeah, that does everything for the Amiibo challenges in Splatoon. And there's one more video, hopefully, left to do for the series. It's gonna be tying up a bit of loose ends. We're gonna go in more detail, sort of, not really. It's kind of complicated about the arcade machine. We're gonna cover the Battle Dojo, and we're gonna show off the Callie and Marie Amiibo. And I think that is everything that's left to do, so yeah, I think I'm done here for this video. So, with that, thank you, of course, for watching. And next time on Splatoon, I guess it's gonna be the finale? Question mark? But yeah. And I'll also be talking about Splatoon on the Nintendo Switch. So, we'll see what comes of that, of course, in the future, but I can probably give my thoughts and ideas, right? Anyways, with that, thank you for watching. Enough rambling from me. And I will see you next time.